All right, what's up, guys? I'm just going to be talking about the Pearl Roadshow kit that I picked up. This is like for gigging and just kind of whatever all around, just kind of a regular usable kit. And before you kind of judge it on just its price tag and, kind of where it sits in the line, I mean, you know, when I get kits, I 100% always switch all the heads, all of them. And any kind of upgrades. I just do it right off the bat because especially with the lower end kits. Yeah, I know, and you could have just spent more money and got whatever, but this kit with the sizes, with the 18-inch kick drum and just the shallower floor tom, 14 by 10. I mean, it's pretty sick. Like it's so fucking portable. Sorry. It's so portable and so I guess I'll just talk about a little bit about what I did, but this is the red wine finish. It's pretty dark actually, and I have lights on it and everything. But let me see if you can kind of see. Yeah. So pretty much what I did, right off the bat, because I tried it. It had metal rims on the bass drum, and I put the kick port in there. Again, I ordered a logo, and I think the white head in the front warms it up a little bit, and the kick port adds some low end. But I still felt that it needed a little bit more. So I think the website's like Drums on Sale. I ordered 18-inch bass drum wooden hoops, and I got two of those. And I don't know if you can kind of see there's a line there on the hoop. What I did was I pulled out the red like strip from inside of the metal hoops. I pulled out both of them and put it side by side on the front, so it's kind of finished on the front. And then on this one, I just kind of painted it so it doesn't match fully. I just got to find some kind of like a used whatever that has a red wine wrap, and then I'll buy that off of somebody for 20 bucks or some shit, and just take that wrap and do the same thing on the other end. But for now, yeah, as far as like making it match, 100%, you can easily just do it at least the front one so it matches. But I mean, it added a lot of low end to it that I thought it feels a lot better and it sounds way lower. And there's a YouTube video actually that covers 18-inch bass drum, like how to get more depth out of them, and that's where I heard it, the sound comparison with the kick port in front. Um, like I said, the white head warms it up a lot. So I'm kind of rambling on about it, but I mean, just these are upgrades. I felt like it needed it, especially if because this was my first smaller kit. If you only have ever played like a full size kit, the kick drum is the biggest difference. One in feel, but two with the low end a little bit. It's still low and super, like super, like thick sounding, but it's just tighter sound. And yeah, you can see the finish a little bit better over here. But yeah, so that was the main thing I did, and I think those were, I don't know, that was kind of expensive. It might have been like 30 bucks each for each one of those hoops. Maybe a little less. I don't know. And then first off on the tom, I took I took that mount off that goes into the drum because I didn't like it, and I ordered that like I don't know if you can kind of see. There's like a little patch that you put on the drum so it covers the air, and then I just used this for right now. I'm gonna probably order an Optilock mount so it's not on the rim like that, but and so I think that helps the tom a little bit more. Obviously Evans heads. Heads, like I said, heads, no matter what, I would just suggest don't even bother using the stock heads if you can afford to do that. Um, this this mount here for the two arms, really quick. That I just have it. There's a rack set up here, but then when I do gigs with it, I just I use the one arm hardware here, and I have a setup that comes out of the bass drum and holds a ride, a crash, and a china all on one stand. So I literally only have a hi hat stand. But besides that, what I'm talking about is this thing I upgraded from the Decade kit, and it's a really nice tom holder. And I did have to drill it, I had to drill it out because the holes were a little bit wider on this one than they were on the stock one. But guaranteed, it will hold 100 times better. The one on there, it's definitely, and in general, any kind of budget instruments, the way that they cut a lot of it is hardware, and mounting type stuff. So I mean, it was okay, but for what I wanted it for, I wanted it to be really sturdy. And if you have something like a bass drum that, on my Decade kit, I put like a patch over that, so it was like a virgin bass drum. So I had this just sitting there, and so I just yeah I drilled it out, and it works really good. I mean that's a side upgrade. You don't have to do something like that. It doesn't affect the sound at all. Um, but it's just like if you plan on doing gigging and want it to be extra sturdy, that helped a lot. Uh, let's see. Oh, so one of the biggest things, especially with any of these little bop kits, is the floor tom, like the legs. I don't know if anybody else out there has them. They're so fucking short. Sorry, guys. Sorry. They're so short that the thing, like if you sit at high at all, if you're not like Travis Barker, if you have any kind of height, the floor time only goes up to like here. Like if you're used to a normal floor time with legs, it's like it was so low. So I ordered these really they're extra long floor time legs, and they're actually almost a little bit too long. But I mean they're just long enough that I get the right height out of them. And I mean you can cut them if you have a saw or something, but it's better to have too much leg than not enough because I couldn't get it high enough. And you can even see in some of the demo videos that the guys do of these drums that the floor time is so extra low. And not everyone sits really high. I don't sit super high, but I sit generally high. And but yeah, that was I think that was like $30 for the three of them. And they have the lock right there. So once you get it set to the right height, you can just lock it. And if you're doing gigs and stuff, you just it's that much easier for a setup. Um, let's see. Stuff that I'm going to do. I guess what trying to think of anything else that I did with the drums. Oh, on the snare drum and on my Decade snare too. I did this. I ordered die-cast rims, which I didn't yet because well, I just got the kit. But I'm gonna order this die-cast rim up here and the die-cast one for down there to help tuning stability because if you hit it all kind of this one here starts to back out and I don't like that. I don't know if you guys how hard you hit or whatever, but I mean I really lay into my rim shots and I don't hit hard, but I hit right, and if you're hitting right, you're hitting a rim shot every time, and for some reason I don't know, it just backs out. But I think it's again with the hardware and the metal, it's probably just kind of a thinner rim, and die cast rims will one, they'll help to lessen the ring on the snare a little bit, but I didn't have any problem with that. I think the snare sounds great, to be honest. They'll lessen the ring, but it'll also improve the tuning stability. So that's something I'm probably gonna order like in the next few days. Besides that, what actually is on here, I ordered 30 strand snare wires, and I don't know if you guys like a lot of snare wires or whatever, but I love the sound of snare wires, and especially if you're micing it it gives it like I don't know, it's like a fatter, like meteor sound, I think. Um, and I definitely would recommend it. It's just one because I record and I really like the sound of it better. And it feel like when you just touch it, just barely, you get a lot of snare. Um, but yeah, that's the only thing I did. So I'm gonna do the diecast, but right now it only has the snare wires. The last thing, I don't know if you can see. Um, yeah, I got the EMAD with the built-in muffling, but I also have a pillow, like it's like a Evans Gatekeeper or something. No, it's the pillow that came in the Decade, so it's like a small muffling pillow, but just some kind of muffling in there, and that it's a lift. So I got a lift from I think it's drumsonsale.com. Again, I mean I'll have to double check, and if you, I'm sure you can find it. So I got a lift for it. Like you don't need it, but if you don't have it, it's still an 18-inch bass drum. So where the beaters actually line up and hit, they hit way up here, and it doesn't sound right. One, it doesn't feel right, especially if you're coming down from like a 22-inch bass drum. It's gonna feel tight in general if you're not, even if you're hitting it in the center. But if you have it on the ground, the beaters are almost hitting at the edge of the drum, and it feels like you're literally playing on a practice pad or like using the bass drum on a wall. You know. So one, I hated the feel, but two, I think it really improved like getting the extra low end out of it because you're hitting it right on where it should be. Um, so now that I've been playing it for a few weeks, it feels really good, and I definitely would recommend getting that lift. I know it doesn't come with it on the Midtown kit that has a 16-inch bass drum. Obviously, will have to have a lift, and that comes with that kit. This one doesn't, but I recommend getting it, and I think it's only like 15 bucks or something. Uh, Drums on sale, I'm pretty sure. But so that's all the stuff that I did to it.